Welcome back to another Baseball America Quick Hits. I am Jeff Ponce, one of the prospect writers here. I am joined by Carlos Collazo, our lead draft analyst. Carlos, we're talking about one of my favorite players in the 2023 class, arguably one of the best swings in college baseball. That, of course, is TCU's Brayden Taylor. You saw him recently. I saw him back in the summer. We got some video here that's coming up. Talk to me a little bit about Taylor, what you saw within the swing, and kind of hitter he is.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, he has maybe the best swing in the class. He maybe is the best pure hitter in the class. That comes from the physical tools he has, but I think it also comes from just the approach and his batting eye at the plate. He's been one of the most consistent players in terms of what he's swinging at, and maybe more importantly, what he's not swinging at. The chase rate has always been extremely low. He's always walked more than he's struck out. And that's led to maybe one of the most difficult players to pitch to in the country. And he showed that opening weekend and throughout the first 2 weeks of the college season.
Absolutely. He's a guy that I got to watch summer 2021. Got to see a little bit before he went to Team USA down by you guys in 2022. But talk me through sort of the tools, the overall profile. What are you hearing from scouts and your reporting?
Yeah, so he entered the year probably somewhere in the middle of the first round. I don't think Taylor is the player who has tools that jump off the page at you. It's more solid average tools across the board. And the impact is maybe going to be the biggest question on his profile. I think he's a solid defender at third base. Again, not an explosive or super flashy defender, but a player who's going to make all the routine plays, has more than enough arm strength to get it across the field. He runs well, but he's not a burner. So when you look at the tools, it's maybe not the sexiest profile, but as we always talk about here at Baseball America, Jeff, the most important tool is the hit tool. And that one is certainly plus. Again, we mentioned it might be the best in the class. The swing is pure. He finds the barrel. I think he's one of those players who just optimizes his launch angles and makes the most out of the power that he does have. So if you start with the hitting ability, it's a pretty well-rounded profile that as he continues hitting, he's only going to move further up the board, and he probably could end up feeling pretty safe in the top 10 picks in this class.
And I love that we say the impact might be the question, as he's hitting nukes in these videos that we're showing. It's great. But overall profile, you mentioned third base. Do you think he sticks there? I know he's not the most twitchy sort of standout athlete. Third base is a demanding defensive position. Do you think he ends up there? And where do you think he ultimately sort of slots into your next draft rankings and then in the first round?
Yeah, in terms of defensive ability, I've heard that some scouts think he can maybe play second base, and maybe at that position, the power questions lessen a little bit. He's not going to have to add a ton of strength or be a massive slugger. You mentioned the power. I do think he has power to the pull side, but he's not the biggest guy. He's not the most physical so far in his career. The exit velocities have been more middle of the pack than explosive, but there is some projection to the body. So if he adds a little bit more strength, and again, if he's just always that sort of hitter that's going to make the absolute most of his raw power, maybe he sort of does exceed the game power production that you would maybe expect compared to the raw power. But in terms of defensive ability, I think probably safest to say he sticks at third, simply because that's where he's played the most. I think he's an athletic player with good hands to maybe play second base as that position becomes more demanding in a post-shift world. But in terms of the next draft rankings, I mean, college hitters move up the board. College hitters who are performing move up the board. He entered the year in a good spot. He's only trending in a better spot now. He feels like just one of the most solid and safest and most secure hitters in the class. That feels like a top 10 player to me.
Absolutely. He's Carlos Collazo. I'm Jeff Ponce. That was Brayden Taylor. And if you don't know, now you know. This was Quick Hits.